Welcome to the Sage Pastel Accounting how-to video. In this video we will demonstrate how to resolve the error code 20 message that you may receive when opening your Sage Pastel Accounting. Error code 20 occurs in the following circumstances. The pervasive engine or service is not running, the pervasive is not licensed, the pervasive components were not correctly installed, or the workstation cannot create a link to the server engine when using pervasive client server. There are specific programs that can also block the pervasive from installing or running successfully. These programs are your antivirus program if there are no exceptions for pervasive ports, your Windows firewall if the pervasive ports have not been added, or your user account control settings. If the user account control has not been turned off, this can block the license from applying.
How to add the Pervasive Database Manager and ports to the Windows firewall. Please note that this demonstration is being performed on Windows 7, however the steps are very similar in Windows 8 and Windows 10. Firstly, navigate to your control panel. Ensure that the view by is set to either large icons or small icons. Select the option Windows Firewall. Select the option Advanced Settings. The Windows Firewall with Advanced Security screen will display. Select the option Inbound Rules. Select the option New Rule. The new Inbound Rule wizard will launch and the rule type screen will display. Select the option Program and click Next. The program screen will display. Select the This path and click on Browse. The Browse screen will display. Navigate to See Program Files, Pervasive Software, SQL Bin, and select the file w3dbsmgr.exe. Click Open. The program screen will display with the path to the file you have selected showing under the This Program path. Click Next. The action screen will display. Ensure Allow the Connection is selected. Click Next. The profile screen will display. Select the profiles that the rule needs to be applied to. If you are unsure, please contact your IT technician or network administrator for assistance on which profiles to select. Click Next. The name screen will display. Enter a name, i.e. Pervasive Database Manager. Optionally, you can enter a description, i.e. access to pervasive program database. Click Finish to save the rule. To add the pervasive ports, select the option Inbound Rules. Select the option New Rule. The new Inbound Rule wizard will launch with the rule type screen displaying. Select the option Port and click Next. The protocol and port screen will display. Select specific local ports and enter 1583, space 3351. Click Next. The action screen will display. Ensure Allow the Connection is selected. Click Next. The profile screen will display. Select the profiles that the rule needs to be applied to. Again, if you are unsure, please contact your IT technician or network administrator for assistance on which profiles to select. Click Next. The name screen will display. Enter a name, i.e. pervasive ports. Optionally, you can enter a description, i.e. access to pervasive ports. Click Finish to save the rule. Please ensure that the Pervasive Database Manager and ports are added as exceptions to the outbound rules. Please note the steps are identical to add an outbound rule as to add an inbound rule. To add an outbound rule, select Outbound Rules, select New Rule, and follow the steps as per adding an inbound rule. How to disable or switch off the User Access Control or UAC in Windows. The UAC is a security feature in Windows which helps prevent unauthorized changes to your computer. When the UAC is switched on, you will receive a prompt requesting you to either accept or decline the changes to Windows. This prompt does not generate for background processes and the UAC automatically denies the changes being requested. In order for Sage Pastel and Pervasive to register correctly and apply the database licenses, You will need to ensure that the Windows User Account Control or UAC has been turned off. The reason the UAC needs to be switched off is that during the registration, the licenses for the pervasive database are applied in the background. Please note that the following demonstration is being performed in Windows 7. The steps, however, are very similar for Windows 8 and 10. Firstly, navigate to your control panel. Once you have opened your control panel, please type UAC in the search window and press Enter on your keyboard. You will see the option Change User Account Control Settings. Please click on this option in order to open the User Account Control Settings window. Click on the slider and drag it to the bottom where it says Never Notify. Click on OK to save your changes. Should you be prompted to restart your computer, please do so. If you had installed and registered Sage Pastel Accounting while your UAC was switched on, please re-register the software in order for the pervasive licenses to be applied correctly.
The first step in resolving any pervasive error message, especially in a multi-user environment, is that you need to ensure that the version of Pervasive installed on all the machines is the version of Pervasive you are licensed for. In order to obtain the version of Pervasive you are licensed for, go to any machine that can access Sage Pastel Accounting, and from within the Sage Pastel Accounting program, click on Help and About. The About Pastel screen will display. The type and version of Pervasive will display next to the Pervasive engine, i.e. Workgroup version 10. To obtain which version of Pervasive is installed, navigate to the control panel on the machine where you are receiving the Pervasive error message, and select Programs and Features. From the list that displays, look for the Pervasive program. Ensure that the version and type of Pervasive matches the version and type in the Sage Pastel About screen, i.e. Pervasive version 10 Workgroup. If the installed version is not the version you are licensed for, you will need to uninstall the incorrect version and install the version you are licensed for. In order to check if the Pervasive engine or service is running, in Windows 7, you will click on Start, All Programs, Pervasive, and Engines. On Windows 8 or 10, use the search option and type in Engines. Select Stop Engine and click on OK. Next, select Start Engine and click on OK. Should you not find the option Engines, navigate to the control panel and select Administrative Tools. Next, select Services and look for and click Pervasive PSQL Engine. Select Start or Restart the service on the top left of the screen, depending on which option is available. To check if Pervasive is licensed, open your Windows Explorer and by holding the Windows key and E on your keyboard simultaneously. Search for GUILCADM.exe. Double-click on the GUILCADM.exe. The Pervasive Software License Administrator screen will display. Ensure that the Pervasive licenses are correct. For version 8 and version 9, one line will show the license type of permanent and a user count for the number of users you have licensed for, i.e. 5. However, in version 10 there will be two lines. One line will show a one user permanent license with a second line to show the user count increase. This therefore means that 5 users would show as permanent one user with a count increase of 4. Should the Pervasive components not be correctly installed, you will need to uninstall Pervasive and reinstall Pervasive. Should the workstation not be able to create a link to the server when using Pervasive Client Server, on the workstation, right-click on the Pastel icon on the desktop and select Properties. Select Shortcut Start In. Ensure that the map network drive is selected, i.e. if the server drive is P from the workstation, the start-in should read P:\\.